Young World. So some information has come out pertaining to the assassination of Malcolm X. Former NYPD officer Reggie Wood confesses that he was involved in the plot to assassinate Malcolm X along with the FBI and the NYPD. I gotta say that this seems a little fishy to me, the timing of it, being as though the movie The Judas and the Black Messiah just came out. It's the same type of story plot as that. I mean, it could just be coincidence, you know what I'm saying? But I just think it's kind of ironic how that came out. And the other thing I think is kind of fishy about it is that I would think that they would have killed anybody who was involved, especially a black person that was involved that can directly implicate the FBI and the NYPD. I'm not saying that's definitely what would have happened, but I would have think something, a crime of this magnitude, I would think they would leave no stone unturned. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that don't have to be the case. And remember, on the documentary Who Killed Malcolm X on the Netflix documentary, the main guy who put the documentary together. His name is Abdul Raham Muhammad. Remember, he tracked down the alleged killers to a mosque in Newark, New Jersey. And the main guy that they said actually did it, he was tracking him down the whole entire documentary. They kept talking about him. When they finally figured out who he was on a Cory Booker campaign commercial. He changed his name. The guy's name was William Bradley. He changed his name to Al Mustafa Shabazz. And just before he actually was about to approach the dude to talk to him, the guy mysteriously dies. Just instantly. Either they kill him or this guy was a fictitious character the whole entire time. Like, not him, he's a real person, but maybe the story that led the documentary guy to him was a story that was orchestrated by the powers that be, that if somebody starts digging, this is where it would lead to him. It would lead them to this man right here. You know what I'm saying? This William Bradley dude. So maybe he was supposed to be the end of the road. So when they caught up with him, all hands looked like they really pointed to him, because he may have been the assassin. You know what I'm saying? He may have been hired to be the actual person that did it, but they might have had it set up that all roads lead to him when you really start figuring it out. And the fact that he dies, whether he really died or whether they act like he died, you know what I'm saying, put him somewhere else. Maybe that was the hopes that would kill the whole entire case and everything would die right there with that dude. But then this guy Reggie Wood comes out with this confession letter, you know what I'm saying? So that right there is what I would have thought would have happened to this Reggie Wood dude, because it does make sense in the documentary how if he tracked this guy down, the guy ends up dying. That makes sense, because that's what I would assume would happen. You know what I'm saying? So you also got to say, if this is all true, which it most likely is the story, you know what I'm saying, that would mean that the same powers that got rid of Malcolm X got rid of this William Bradley dude at the last minute to keep that down. So if they just did that as recently as a few years ago, you got to sit here and believe that they're not going to prosecute anybody else who is involved in this. They're going to sweep this under the rug as easily as they can. That's why they got the Joker, Ben Crump, the lawyer Ben Crump dude. Anytime he shows up anywhere, he's just a middleman for the family of the victims and the people at fault to pay them some money to make it all go away. Because, I mean, it's just, that don't sit right with me that this guy all of a sudden shows up, Ben Crump. Why is he the only one that keeps showing up to all these type of situations, police shootings? And so him alone makes me not trust the situation. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that could just be me speculating. This could definitely be true with the Reggie Wood guy is saying. And if this is definitely the whole truth and nothing but the truth, a lot of people do owe the Nation of Islam an apology for you know what I mean, all these years believing that they're the ones that actually killed Malcolm X for all this time. Because even if it was some quote-unquote Muslims out of a quote-unquote mosque in Newark or anywhere else, it doesn't mean that the Nation of Islam is who put this in motion. You know what I'm saying? They could have hired somebody from the nation to blame it on them to make it look like that's what the case was, but it doesn't mean that they're the ones that actually put the whole thing in motion. You know what I'm saying? So this is just highly ironic, the timing of it. It seems like it's a distraction. Even if it is totally true, it still seems like a distraction, because like I said, this Judas and the Black Messiah comes out at the same time. That just came out a couple of days ago. Same type of storyline, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't usually get gifts that back to back all at once. Like this is stuff that has been wondered about for many decades, many generations. You know what I'm saying? People knew the Freddie Hampton story, but now they put it on TV like that. Same thing with Malcolm X. People speculated, but now they're saying they have actual proof. So you got to be wary. You got to be leery of it. Like it just seems like something else could be up. Maybe this is all totally true and this is the story, but what are they distracting us from? Why are they putting all this information out there right now? You know what I mean? So, and this is, like I said, taking all the blame off of the NOI, definitely as far as Farrakhan's concerned. So does this mean Farrakhan's about to be something with him or something to him or something involving Farrakhan? You know what I'm saying? To clear his sheet real quick to maybe use him for something. Not saying that he would be willing to be used, but you know they could use you indirectly easily, just like they do rappers all the time. Just because somebody's quote unquote in the Illuminati don't mean that they sat at a round table with all the biggest people in the world. It just means that they can use you indirectly to push whatever agenda they want. You know what I'm saying? If you're a rapper that talks about killing and wearing Gucci clothes and spending all your money, they don't gotta have a conversation with you to let you know that you're working for them. They just make sure your numbers look good and make sure you get paid so you keep doing what you're doing. That's all. So, and me being me, going into the rabbit hole, I'm gonna have to think one step further and also think that the Who Killed Malcolm X documentary, was that put together by the powers that be? You know what I mean? Was that something that they orchestrated and put out to try to get to people's minds because maybe they already knew that this guy, Reggie Wood, had some evidence or had this letter floating around. Maybe they got wind of it years ago. You know what I mean? And maybe if they knew they would have just killed them straight up, then that would have made wherever the letter was at, whoever had the letter, put it out. So maybe they was trying to buy time to try to figure out where this letter was. Maybe they've been trying to find this letter all this time. Maybe they've been trying to, you know what I'm saying, get a hold of the Reggie Wood dude. And like I said, try to get a hold of that letter and the evidence he has, but maybe they weren't successful in doing it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it was like, oh, let's put this documentary out on Netflix, have this another Muslim guy, black man, put it together, make it look credible to reach people's minds. You know what I'm saying? To implant that story. So I don't know that I could be totally wrong about that, but you just never know. Just like when the Jeffrey Epstein situation happened, I made videos saying that the main reason I didn't believe that Jeffrey Epstein was dead is because he probably had a trigger for information to come out upon his death. He's probably a whole warehouse full of information of people that the people that he has dirt on all know that if they was to do something to him, this information would be revealed. So that's why I believe they definitely covered that up, got him out of there. He's just another person, has a different face. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've been saying for a long time ago, that the TV show The Blacklist, I believe that the character Raymond Reddington is based on Jeffrey Epstein or people like Jeffrey Epstein. He's a Jeffrey Epstein character, the guy Raymond Reddington on The Blacklist. They have people like that operate behind the scenes. If you watch that TV show, that's the most accurate depiction of how this world really works, in my opinion.